Hello and welcome back to Loud and Proud Orlando. Here with another City Pod on a Monday night, live to talk everything Orlando City. I am your host, John Rollins. I'm here with my co-host and friend Paola. Paola, how you doing?
What's up, John? I'm doing good. How about you?
I'm great. Yeah, I mean, not so much after the draw fest that was this weekend. Three 1-1 draws across all of our clubs. OCB did manage to get the win in penalties, so at least they got a win. But yeah, the other two got draws. So
We can talk more about that.
draw city.
Draw City.
Literally, we are draw city this weekend. Yes, indeed, we're going to talk all about that. And other things today on the podcast. Let me bring that up. Today's agenda, we will talk, of course, DC won, Orlando City won, a draw in the state capital. And then Inter won, OCB won. We'll talk about that. They managed to get the win on penalties 5-3 over the Baby Herons. And then we're going to preview Nashville coming up. So Nashville this weekend. The next big MLS game. I mean, every game now is a big MLS game, but this one, a little bit of revenge on the line for the boys, and we'll do some score predictions. That's everything we're going to do today. Paula, how did you feel about the draw that we got?
I mean, it's a hard point to take. And we talked about it last Monday, believe it or not, right? We were talking about this is the moment that we need to grab the 3 points and not let them be the protagonist and all that fun stuff, right? I thought that we were going to score like 3 goals. I'm not even kidding, or 4, because we had the momentum all 15 minutes in the game, and we were almost scoring, like, oh, this is the game, blah, blah, blah. We had 64% of possession of the ball. That's not normal for being an away game. Normally it's backwards. Like the visitors team will have less possession of the ball and the home team will have more possession of the ball. We did not. We had the ball all the freaking time. We had one man left, like without 10, like we were competing 10 minutes against us and we couldn't have a goal. I mean, frustrations. I don't know. I think this is why I regret not having Enrique on the on the team anymore. But I mean, it's a hard 1 point to take care on the away, because this was the moment to take all 3 points, and now we wasted 2 points basically, right? And now we face what? Nashville, then Cincy again. And then it's not gonna be easy games. I don't know if Orlando wants, selfish, and they want, in Spanish we say masoquista, right? Like they want hard teams to go and not the easiest team to, to battle the 3 points. So I don't know. It was hard to swallow 1 point on Saturday. I don't know about you, John. We could have won. We had all the base, like the hardcore players. Freeman had a great game, but yeah, it's a hard 1 pointer away. What do you
Yeah, I
feel?
mean,
How do you feel, John? Tell
I
me more.
agree. I agree with everything you said. I think it's just we can't at this point in the year be going away to DC and getting a 1-1. Like we look at the games we have left. This was on the easier side. Like, granted, there's not really any easy points in MLS.
Mm-hmm.
Even a team like DC, where they are in the table, has something about them. Like, they've got Benteke up front, for example. They had a challenge for us, and we didn't rise to that. And really, going away and getting 1 point when it's early in the season would be like, okay, we got a point on the road. But going away and getting, 1 point at this stage, where a game where we could have gone and easily got 3 points and then easier, quote unquote, game for us. It's just very disappointing, I think, overall. And the 10 shots is really good. We had that on target. We had a lot of shots, but only 10 on target. And their goalkeeper stood on his head. Another day, he probably wouldn't have made one of those saves, and we win 2-1. But also, I think our finishing wasn't there. I think we lacked that clinical edge. We needed somebody to kind of step up and put the team on their back and say, "Don't worry, I'm going to get these goals." And no one did that. So we just kind of ended up with a bit of a stalemate game. I think they're in a bit of a rut. I think we need to see some excitement again from the boys. I mean, where's these like 3 goals a game Orlando City from early in the season? We're back
I
down to
know.
like 1 goal a game, and our defense is not as good. So this is how we're getting these situations where we draw to a team like DC, where earlier in the season we would have beat them 4-1 like we did. Luis is here. Luis, thanks for joining us,
Hi
buddy.
guys. Sorry for being so late. My apologies to you, Paul, and to you, John, and to everybody that's watching. Well, yeah, it's not the best. It's not the best day. It's not the best pot today for Orlando City. Certainly, we come. I'll say a lackluster draw. I guess that's the way I will put it. Um, look, they missed absolutely everything. Like zero. I don't know. I just felt like you could have thrown a watermelon on the floor and they would have missed that too. Like like
Or
they
no keeper.
they missed absolutely everything. The defense on the first goal. Kudos to the kid Hopkins because he took the opportunity and run with it. It kind of reminds me of when Duncan McGuire first kind of came into Orlando scene essentially. And Rodrigo Schlegel was, I felt more, I guess his directive was just, hey, go and look for Benteke. And David Breckel already was not really ready for, I guess he was out of position to intercept the pass, and Hopkins just, got allowed in there to shop right in the middle of Orlando's box, and then scored one that Galese, he ain't Donnarumma to stop that type of thing, and then I did read a lot of people saying hey, our attack it sucks, and I was like, well, I think our attack doesn't suck. I feel our attack is ineffective, and that is really hurting us. They are creating the chances, they're going in transition, they're causing damage to defenses. They just can't put it in. They can put it behind the net. And Alex Freeman, certainly, this is a player that things could be worse if we would have not had Freeman. You know what I mean? Freeman, best man of the match for sure for Orlando. But honestly, what I'm really most pissed about, John and Paola, is just that Orlando had everything to win this game, and it was DC was down 1 man and for a long time, and we weren't able to capitalize on the chances we created. That is the most frustrating thing, and that is one thing that I feel when the games that matter come through, Cincinnati, against tougher opposition. I mean, that's really gonna bite us in the ass. Now, also, it's safe to say, and then I'll give the mic to John. It's a possibility that Orlando City might have drawn against DC, but they may get good results against Nashville and Cincinnati in good Orlando City fashion, and then we're going to get all excited again. And then what's going on, right? So, but we move on. We move on, and
Yeah, I
now we
mean,
have to fight for
I
Nashville.
think like this time of year last year, Luis, on the big picture is as long as we are in the playoffs and as long as we are going into the end of the season looking hot, like we have a chance in the playoffs. I mean, last year you had New York that were, way down there and they went all the way to the MLS Cup final. So yes, you want to have top 4. I would like to be in the top 4, but like as long as we're in the playoffs, then that's the most important thing. And if we're gonna take a few games now to figure out our form and then go into the end of the season hot, like that in some ways is the best scenario, because we've had other years where we look really hot at the end of the season, and then I think it was like 23, we went into the playoffs, and we just couldn't perform. Like kind of similar last year, I feel like we were really hot at the end of the season, and then as we got into the playoffs, our form was starting to die down. So I really see Oscar as such like an up and down manager. It's either we're kind of like in a hot phase where we're playing really well, or we're in like a cold phase. As much as I want him to be consistent, I don't see that from Orlando City under his management. So for me, it's about like, okay, are we on this hot streak where we're scoring lots of goals and we're being clinical and we're defending well and we're getting to every ball? That Orlando City can win a lot. Like that Orlando City can do a lot. That Orlando City could win all of the MLS. But if we're going to be the Orlando City that we just saw against DC, or the one that we saw play LA, that it looks like you said, Luis, lackluster, and they don't take their chances, and they're sloppy at the back, then we're not going to win anything. So for me, it's about what Orlando City are we going to get at the end of the year. And right now, not looking so good. But that doesn't mean that he can't turn around. I mean, he can't finish the season well. Eventually, win something.
Yeah, definitely. Paul, what are your thoughts on Orlando's attack on this game?
I mean, before you joined, I was saying that we're like masoquistas. Like we could like let the down teams score on us, and yeah, and then when we go to Nashville,
helping out the bad teams.
Exactly. So I mean, it's a hard one pointer game away. Like I don't have any excuses for them. So we should have scored. I mean, even Ojeda had the opportunity when Maguire passed that beautiful ball to him, and he just put it there for the goalkeeper. I'm like, what are you doing, man? Like you're not supposed to do this. But I don't know what they were thinking about. I don't know if they were like so laid back that this is an easy win, this is what you get. I don't know what was that mentality. I don't think so it was like that. But I mean, we just gave 2 point away, so hopefully we don't get that on Saturday.
What do you guys think on their goal? Did you have any opinions on that, and whether you thought that was? Some people were saying that was Jansen's fault. Angulo's fault. I was kind of looking more at Jansen, that he kind of lost his man. But there's like 4 Orlando City players in the box, and no one marks.
I need to
Hopkins,
see it again.
Who comes in?
Let me see it again.
So it's Luis, you got any opinions on the goal that they conceded?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, Orlando's defense, it was solid overall. If I feel, I mean, DC really didn't cause a lot of issues aside of the Hopkins goal, and it came of a diagonal cross, and I just feel like there were gaps when Orlando would go in transition. I just felt like they were playing too forward half the time. Now, if this would have been a tougher, it's tremendous. Now, I also do want to say kudos to the DC United's back line. I feel like, their goalkeeper, he's probably not the tallest, but I mean, Barraza had a great game. And again, it's a team, like you said, John, is a team that they already gave up on the season. You know what I mean? And this should have been a win for the Lions. Unfortunately, you have to understand it's the first full game for Duncan Maguire, but I have a feeling, Martin Ojeda generated, but just could, he just will pass it back or pass it forward, and with not a lot of linking up, like he used to have before with like Angulo. I just felt like Orlando, lots of chances, just not enough quality. And honestly, I just felt like DC's goal, aside of the goal, couple games, then that is going to be a huge blow, even for the Pareja legacy. I feel, I think, for this team not to make playoffs, and for a team like Charlotte to make playoffs, like it's gonna validate that opening up your wallet and getting players like the guy who played in Crystal Palace, I forgot his name. What was his?
Zaha.
Yeah, getting players like Saha, renewing Kalina for like 3 or 4 years, top money, like those moves are what teams should be doing now. And our model is underhanded. I want to kind of give the team still the benefit of the doubt, but I feel it's a little bit too late right now for me to get like super excited. I think the best we can do as Orlando City fans or press is just to support the squad and just hope that they're gonna go over the threshold and qualify for playoffs, and then treat each game as it's a brand new league. So once playoffs hits, it's a brand new league. We've seen it when the dead last has won the championship, which is Columbus Crew. Now, do we have the depth Columbus Crew has? I don't think so. Do we have the edge that Columbus Crew shown on that run on those playoffs? Sometimes. And that is the problem with Orlando City. It's like we can't really, like you said, John, go in this winning streak and truly dominate when we cannot even like score against the worst team in the East. Because clearly DC is the worst team in the East.
Luis, did you realize that I went to the Pride game and watched Orlando Pride draw to the worst team in NWSL, and then I went to the bar and watched Orlando City
bro,
draw
you're
to
the
the
one
worst
cursed.
team in the East. Like,
Bro.
You're the
and then,
cursed.
then I say to Paula, and then OCB on Sunday, they draw as well. I mean, they won on the penalties, shout out, but yeah, it was just really one of those weekends where just everything lacked quality. I really feel like this game lacked quality, Luis. Like, and we should be DC. I expect that from them. This is the level of performance I expected from
Well,
DC.
DC, just so you guys know, DC had a friendly game.
Friendly.
Yeah. DC had a friendly game against Club America.
What, like in the week?
Yeah.
What?
Why?
During international break.
Oh, that's so weird.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so I don't know if that really helped them out. I feel like they did. I feel like it did a little bit.
I mean, I don't know enough about DC's lineup to say if that was rotated or not. I mean,
I
their
don't know.
back line, I think that's the main lineup. Like, so
Yeah, but
regardless, it was just one of those games where,
So look, I'm
we
gonna
looked
read
a
it for
little
you.
rusty.
DC United defeated Club America 3-1 in a friendly match at Audi Field on Saturday, September the 6th.
That's so weird. Anyways.
So what does that tell you? DC had rhythm. Orlando City, I don't know what it is. That's what I'm saying. They were rested, but Lord
we never benefit from the international break. We come back and we always look rusty
Slack.
after and which makes no sense. Like some of the guys, yes, because they went out. Like Pasalic went to Eastern Europe, like for example.
Yeah, they went to Croatia.
Yeah, but most of the team did not go anywhere, so they should be rested and ready to go and have extra time to prepare for a team like DC that we know inside and out. Like this is not something new. This is we know how to beat DC United. We just
someone some of them went to the parks. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They took a picture with Mickey Mouse. They went to see the new roller coaster Universal, Epic Universe. So
I mean, they haven't won many games this year at all. I mean, it's that they did manage to beat New York recently, but this is they're not a good team. So we
right
should have got the
W. So right now, as you can see there, like I mean, if you really like do a honest heart on your hand, like hand on your heart, Paola, we deserve to be in that place. I feel like we should. I mean, look, we've not been able to beat any major aside of Inter Miami. We haven't really been able to obliterate Columbus or obliterate Philly, so it's been costing us tremendously. And I think right now for the upcoming games that Orlando has, it's looking dim. Like the whole supporter shield stuff that Alex Freeman said on the post game. I don't know if he was just joking, if he was just, hey, we were fighting for the supporter shield. I mean, I really felt like saying, bro, it doesn't look like you.
They were like, before the summer,
Before
right? There was that
Yeah.
talk of
before
it
the
Right.
League Cup.
ages ago. Yeah,
Mhm.
ages ago.
Way
Right, so-
before the
But
League.
that's before the Leagues Cup and before we lost and then drew. And, I mean, look, teams go through times of doing really well. Like Charlotte's like on this unreal run. That's not going to last forever. At some point,
Look at those green
they'll come
W's.
crashing down to earth, right? We had a really good run earlier in the season, and we kind of flew up the table, and we kind of rode off the back of that. And ever since then, we've been slowly drifting down. Like ever since that Miami away win, right? It's been a little bit spotty here and there, and we've been being overtaken. Like Miami could have overtaken us as well if they've been performing better with their games in hand. But obviously, Columbus came back up and got over us. Charlotte came flying up the table and overtook a bunch of people. And we're in the fight. Like we have to. This is a dogfight in the East. It really is. That's all it is. Like you have to go out and you have to win these games. And like that's what I'm talking about in this DC game is where was the edge? Like where was the I'm going to do everything necessary to score a goal because we need these points. And I feel like right now, if you're not a team that's fighting to win every game, you're going to fall down, Luis. And I agree. Is like we're 48 points in 6th place.
Yeah.
9th place is 42 points. So only 6 points away from us is the edge of the playoffs. If we lose a couple of games in a row, if we even just draw like 3 or 4 games in a row, if we don't win, yeah, I'd say, I mean, how much we got 5 games left, right? I want to say, 5 games. If we don't win 3 of those,
we're out.
I think we're struggling to be where we are now. At least maybe even we'll have to see what happens around us. Like there's so many variables of different teams and who can perform and who can drop off. But if we were where Cincy or Charlotte or Nashville are, we'd feel a lot more comfortable, right? We're in a situation now where we're getting dragged into the potential of not being in the playoffs. And that's not what we wanted. We wanted to be a top 4 team. So we could turn it around. We still can. Like I think we could come 3rd or 4th. Like best case scenario, we win a bunch of games. We can climb up the table because we're playing teams around us that we can take points off. But we have to perform. And I think last game, it was not looking like a team that deserves to be in the top 4 of this Eastern table for me. We don't look like that. We haven't looked like that team in a while.
100%. We got to be realistic on the expectations that we have on the club. And to me, I think we've been hot and cold, yes and no, in or out, up and down. So therefore, that is a reflection of us right now. I feel like being on that center now, it's up to the boys because there's really nothing you can do right now to say, oh, Ramiro left. Oh, we should have not done that. Like it's too late for us to sit down and cry over the spoiled milk. What's done, it's done.
Mm-hmm.
We just gotta treat the boys gotta know that every game moving forward, it's a final. And literally, it's also to protect the legacy of Oscar as well. Because I mean, if they keep dropping, we're going to be out of the playoffs, and then the first person who's going to be point to blame, technically, it's not the players half the time. It's going to be Oscar.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to, and sorry to be so crude, but that is completely true. Oscar's going to be, this is happening. Is all, Oscar is somehow of like magician that's going to make everything happen. I feel like they got to really like think. I like the way Freeman is playing. Freeman is playing possibly his last season with the Lions. And he's balling. And he showed it. He's a bro. I'd rather get hit in the face, but I want to score. It doesn't matter if it's against the worst team in the MLS. I don't care. I'm gonna put my face, and I'm gonna at least get the boys the draw.
Yeah.
I can respect that 110%.
But that's what I'm talking about. We need that from every player. Like I need that level of
For
determination
everyone.
from
Exactly.
more of the team than just what we're seeing from a couple players at the moment. Like Schlegel, I also want to say I see that from Schlegel like a lot recently. I want to call out him as being a top performer at the moment. In terms of games coming up, like we said, we're going to talk about Nashville in a bit, but we've got Nashville and then we've got Cincy away, then we've got Columbus at home, then we got Vancouver at home, then we've got Toronto away. 4 out of 5 of those are, top teams. Even Columbus are still very, very good, very dangerous teams. Cincy are second in the table. Nashville, I think, third in the table, or something close fourth. Vancouver doing very well on the West this year, still up there in the mix. These are not easy games, and this is not easy. We have 3 of them at home, thankfully. So we have to win. That's why I say if we win 3 of these 5, I'd be happy. If we just win our home games, that's, I think, enough to get us into the playoffs. We'll finish somewhere between, I don't know, 5th and 9th. Who knows? We'll have to see how everybody else does.
No,
Paula, what do you reckon?
Vancouver is looking like a brand new team.
Vancouver is your resurgence. Remember, they've got, we'll talk about them when we get there, but they've, of course, got Thomas Mueller. Paula, not Vancouver. What do you think about this? Like, optimistically, pessimistically, how many games do you think we can win out of these 5?
I will say it all depends how I see the team on Saturday. Since we have been inconsistency the last 4 games, including obviously the Leagues Cup.
It's true, right? I mean, that Nashville is like that first big test. If we can play well against them, maybe we can play well against Cincy, and et cetera, et cetera.
And the morale goes
Momentum,
up,
yeah.
and mentally goes up.
Mm-hmm.
All that shenanigans, but it will depends how they go in mentally and scoring goals and performing on Saturday, so I can give a solid answer for your question. But I'm optimistic. Like if they turn the table before, they can turn the table now. But I mean, it's hard, right? When you don't have consistency and you give a point away to DC United being them down 10 men. So it's hard to say.
Luis, what do you reckon?
When it comes to what's coming up next for the Lions, and I want to say thank you to everybody. I just turned on a live on Instagram. So we're live on Instagram right now, and we're live on
Yeah,
X,
we got a few comments here. We can read those in a second.
Yeah, let's read that real quick here. It says, Keith Alexander, a lot of distractions since that Miami game, players leaving Leagues Cup, international call-ups, etc. Yeah, Galeza just got eliminated from the World Cup. And it's funny because he gave an interview saying that he still had a lot of hope in Peru qualifying. I'm like, bro, you're delusional. But either way, Tony, yes, Vancouver just thrashed Philly 7-0. I know. What happened to that passion from Ojeda and Pasalic? These guys were automatic every game now, missing easy opportunities. I don't think they're being marked either. I kind of agree on that. I'm going to be at this game on Saturday, really hoping for revenge. Yeah, so I feel like the Lions, the way they can salvage this is by winning everything at home. So whether you like to hear or not, with all due respect, I think this Saturday, Orlando needs to beat Nashville, even if it's by 1 goal. They need to beat Nashville. It's been one of those tough opponents that they've gotten, and they gotta beat. They thrashed us 5-1, so that should not happen. If that happens again, though, another 5-1 result, things are not looking very good for the Lions. But they gotta win everything at home. So if you look at the table, I will say win against Nashville, win against Vancouver, and you have to beat Toronto. So those three, to me, they gotta be W's. Like Nashville, Vancouver, and Toronto, all those three, that's like 3, 6, that's 9, that's 12 points right there. So those should be 12 points, and then you can maybe um, draw. You can maybe drop one of those from. You can drop the one in Cincinnati and then draw against Columbus at home. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah, so that would be 10 points. So we get 3 wins
So yeah,
and a draw. Yeah, 10 points. But I mean, I think 3 wins and a draw would be very good. I think a couple wins, a couple draws, and a loss would probably be enough to get us through. I mean, Nashville, Columbus, Cincy, those 3 in particular, the next 3 games are all like 6-pointers. I mean, if we look at the table, of course, they're all like right around us. You've got Nashville right there, Columbus right there, Cincy right there. So these are 6 points. You know, if we can take 3 away from Nashville and add 3 for us, then that's instantly going to boost us up. We'll see what Columbus does, and then right after that we play Columbus. You know, sorry, that we play Cincy, and then after that we play Columbus. So it's so, yes, we got to win our games, but these other teams around us have got to win their games. So many things are going to happen, but a lot of the, fate is in our hands because the fact we are playing teams that we are directly competing with and teams that are directly above us as well. So if we can beat them, maybe we can leapfrog them and get ahead in this, dogfight of a Eastern table. F saying, "What up, gang? What up, F?"
What's up?
Alrighty, Paula, what are you gonna say?
No, what's up to F? I was gonna say that.
What up to F? All right, Nashville. It's the game. Luis mentioned it before. That 5-1. Of course, the Open Cup this year, they knocked us out 3-2. Hi.
It's a must game on
This
Saturday.
team
We
this
need
year,
to.
this is our bogey team, I feel like, this year. That team that we just don't want to play. So we gotta show that we can do it against them with a full lineup. Of course, both times we played them last time, I don't like excuses, but we technically were very tired and rotated. Open Cup, we played so many MLS games, and then Oscar just played the same 11, if you remember, in that game, and they looked really tired. And Nashville rotated and killed us, and then we rotated for them in the MLS game most recently because of Leagues Cup, and they did not, and had a whole week to prepare and came out hungry and just destroyed us in that 5-1 with Mukhtar and what's his name, old Sammy boy, Sammy Surridge. They were eating that day. Yeah, so we got to look out for those guys. Like, really, they are a problem for us. I think especially Sam Surridge. I mean, he scored that goal early on with the header. He's just like a physical presence in the box that seems to be an issue that we can't deal with. And then Hani Mukhtar, if there's a bogey team for us this year, it's Nashville. If there's a bogey player for Orlando City for like the last 10 years,
Nashville,
it's freaking Hani Mukhtar. Like, this guy always has our number, and he loves to score goals against us. Like, him and Carlos Gil have been doing it for years. So, as long as those two, we can keep them quiet or they have a bad day, we have a lot better chance of winning this game. But if they play like they did last time against us and we look defensively lackluster like we have been, I mean, we haven't had a clean sheet in MLS since, I don't know, I have to go way back and find it. We had one in Leagues Cup against Toluca, but we haven't had one in MLS in a long time. I think it's like 2 or 3 months.
I can check.
Paula will go back and look, and then we'll all regret that she went to look. But I'm just saying, we're not the best defensively. We need to score goals. Like, we need to score 3 goals if we have a chance in this game, or 2 goals at least. Like, 1 goal is not going to be enough. I don't see us winning.
Yeah, I mean, we got to make sure that we we contain Surich and Mukhtar. I mean, and at that level, we need to have Cesar Araujo. We need to have also Joran Gervais on point. I feel Edward Atuesta goes more forward,
Mm-hmm.
but
Yeah.
they weren't able to contain Mukhtar at all. And it feels like Mukhtar feels so free playing against Orlando.
Mm,
Mm-hmm.
Like he knows that he's able to
yeah.
get above them, and it just seems like he's having a field day half
I
the
think
time.
Surge feels that same way too, I
Yeah,
think Surge is like, oh, I can get in there and bully these guys.
and then Zimmerman's back, and I mean lately they have not been looking so hot. I mean, look at those scores right there.
Yeah, this was their 2-1 loss to Cincy, which, I mean, it's Cincy, it's not that bad a result, really. They still Surge still managed to get a goal, but it's a team that causes us problems. They might not be performing all the time, but Schaffelberg causes us problems. Tag Seth causes us problems. Willis, we always have, like we were talking about last game, and the DC goalkeeper standing on his head. Willis always seems to perform well against us. So if we're not being clinical, Willis is, he's going to save all of those half shots, those easy, poorly placed shots that are right at him. He's not going to make mistakes there. He's going to win stuff in the air. He's going to come off his line and claim the ball. We have to be more clinical. We can't be performing like we have the last few games. We got to get up the field and take our chances. I don't know if they're going to sit in deep and try and defend. They do like the counterattack as well. Are they going to try and make us play and then counter into the space? That's probably what I would do. I think one of the reasons we struggled against DC, I mean, why we always struggle against teams when they're down to 10 is because they sit deep and they put their defensive lines in 2 backs of 4, and that we just aren't able to break teams down like that. So if I was Nashville, I would do the same thing. I would come here, I would sit defensively like BJ and these guys, and they know how to do that. They did it for years. And then you spring counterattacks with Schaffelberg and Surge and Mukhtar and whoever else you want, just like we would against other teams. And you make Orlando City hold the ball and you make us break them down. And I don't think we could do it. And so that's, I think, what we're going to see. If Nashville come and attack us, I'll be delighted because that's going to leave space and we're going to have an easier time. But I don't think they'll do that. I think they know
I
that
think
we are not good if you give us the ball all the time. Like, in a weird way, we're set up to be a counter-attacking team. And so if you take away the space for us to counterattack into and you give us the ball so that we can't counterattack you, and then we make an error and then you counterattack us, that's what happens.
Now, my question is, Charlotte already clinched playoffs, which sucks. That should have been us, and
We got distracted by Leagues Cup, man. Charlotte running Leagues Cup.
I know.
I mean, they were, but they were out so early it didn't matter. But it just, yeah. As much as it was good,
we need to limit Nashville's wing play also with Schaffelberg, with Perez as well. Brecalo and Smith. I don't know if Smith is going to play, but your homie John, he's already injured with thigh.
He's like, well, yeah, hey, my homie. It's not
Marin.
Oh, Marin.
Marin Consong.
I mean, Consong, that's his second last name.
A left back.
Marin Consong.
As decent as Brecalo has been, like we still have a left back problem.
Yeah, so Brecalo, Rodrigo Schlegel, and Robin Jansen need to be on point. Last time they weren't because of Surich. And again, Ojeda, I don't know what's happening with Ojeda in the sense of, I love the fact that he creates the play. He can take the chance and run with it and score. I mean, he needs to be a little selfish because he's been doing all these passes on the box, And then Angulo is off position. Spicer also, when Spicer came in, completely, out of position. So I feel limiting Nashville's wing play, it's important. And then also, just to give you a data here, Orlando is unbeaten 7 out of 10 games when holding opponents under 10 shots. Nashville averages 12. So just FYI, in 2024, we beat Nashville 2-1 by scoring twice on counters. So that is important. Now, another thing is target set pieces. That's what I took on my notes. Because Orlando has ranked super high in the league in corners, but they're like -10.
Yeah.
And right now we need to use Duncan McGuire because Duncan McGuire is there. Hey, start preparing him to take some of those set pieces. You could use also David Brecalo. He loves to score of set pieces. We need to start using our aerial threats right there. Now, Walker Zimmerman, right now, they are struggling. They're conceding 1.43 goals per game right now. So defensively, they are as vulnerable as we are, or even a little worse. So
I mean, their form here on screen, you can see like apart from beating us 5-1, they've been losing all their MLS games. I mean, they lost 1-0 to Atlanta, but they like to play well against us. So I don't really, as bad as their form is, our form hasn't been much better, and they seem to have our number this year. So I don't think that really, you know what I mean? Like it all kind of equals out. And I think what matters is the fact that we played them twice this year and lost twice this year. Now, a lot of people, like when I was talking with Miami people and we were having that third game in Leagues Cup, Danny and all these other people say, well, oh, don't you believe like if you played a team twice and you beat them twice and the third time is like really hard for them to beat you again? I don't know if there's any stock in that. Is that an American thing? I don't know if I've really heard that. Like, is it really hard to beat a team 3
You're not
times in a
confused.
season? I don't know. I think Mukhtar and Serge got our number. We got to do something different than we did the last few games for sure. What do you think, Luis? Is that a thing? Is it like you're always saying, you got to find out new ways to beat a team, right? Like Nashville know how to beat us. They have to find like a new way to beat us. So we're going to have their number this time. Is it going to be any different?
Well, you just gotta have that willingness to set the record straight. And I just feel like with Nashville it's been tough because they have they have talent, and it just seems that their attack revolves on Mukhtar's creativity, but we just happen to be one of those teams that just let Mukhtar do what he wants to do. So right now, they have a really top striker, a striker that's motivated to win the Golden Boot. And so right now, we need to really put an end on Mukhtar. Without Mukhtar, Surridge doesn't have somebody that could feed him because he's a true pivot 9. So he's not going to be able to create his own plays. So I think that's what we got to do. I mean, just have some. I mean, I want to see a different attitude. They're too passive sometimes, I feel, Orlando, and I'll be honest with you, we need to hear more from the captain because, bro, like, I feel like everybody's going to grab their pitchforks and just try to kill Oscar over every single loss Orlando has. But I feel like there's a lack of creativity and a lack of edge from the players as well. I mean, at some point you have to, say, hey, you know what? Like, we didn't really play very well this game, and this is a game that we should have won. And, it is irresponsible to put Alex Freeman to answer questions when it should probably be me, answering those questions.
I'm confused by this choice constantly. It happening on the Pride side too as well. I think there's a lot of There's people I want to hear from that we don't hear from, at the end of a game. I agree entirely, Luis. All right, a few comments. Tony S. saying, what's the playoff cap? Charlotte just qualified with 53 points. I don't know exactly. It's probably around that 50, like 51, 52 mark. But that was just like last week. Like it'll change week to week as mathematically, teams get to the point where they can't drop below ninth. That's all it means. Cesar hurting his back during a 2-week break makes me think he's going for baby number 2. Says F. PSA, remember to support the Drunk Boys by dropping a like on the stream. We love that, F. Everybody drop a like for us, please. Even if you're not here. If you're here later, drop a like now anyway. When is it going to be Mighty Morphin time for Orlando City? Says Jeffrey O. That's like a Power Rangers thing, where they
Mighty Morphin
combined all of the colored Power Rangers into the giant. I don't even know what that was. The original Power Rangers. There's so many variations of it now. I don't know when that's going to happen. If it's ever going to happen. I don't know if we have that ability in our locker. Maybe. We'll see. Luis, you want to talk some OCB? We have anything else to talk on Nashville? We'll do our score predictions in a little bit, but any other thoughts on Nashville before we talk OCB?
No, we just got to stop Mukhtar, and the games that we are playing at Enerco Stadium, those, whether they're with Nashville or Columbus or Vancouver, those are games Orlando needs to put away at home. I mean, at least give the fans wins at home so they're able to go back home with a W. You know what I mean? I mean, that has to be the battle cry right now, because it's been a roller coaster ride of emotions this season, in the sense of, as different as other seasons, you'll have us screaming Pappy out till June, and then it was like all love to the point that we are the champions of the world almost at the end, but like in this scenario, it's been really inconsistent. And so people may attribute it to, hey, we may be having new players, but I think that there's no excuse anymore. I think right now it's do or die. But other than that, I wish him the best, and vamos Orlando.
Hey, we had a lot of shots last game.
Yeah,
that's why I want to say there's a lot of shots. We just gotta put them in the back of the net.
Put it in the back, yeah.
And if we won that 3-1, we would be laughing, so it's fine margins, and the same at the back, right? We just gotta pick up that player. Like Angulo got smoked on that move, and then no one's picking up the guy in the box. Little things, you gotta do the best you can at both ends of the field, clean it up, and then let's see. Hopefully, if we can win against Nashville on Saturday. All right, let's talk OCB. There's highlights here. This highlight package is 1 minute and 31 seconds. So I think we should just watch the whole thing. Here you go.
As we take a look at our starting 11, first 4, Inter Miami 2 and manager Christian Ledesma. Orlando City B and manager Manuel Goldberg counter with a 4-2-3-1.
A lot of people
out wide, wanting Hall, who heads it down. Chance toward goal, it's in!
Yeah, it looks bad.
Who else but Mateo Saha pouncing on the loose ball. Loyola shadows over it. Loyola off the woodwork and out. The rebound blocked away. Now another free kick. Inches high from Loyola.
So
went off
close.
The bottom part of the crossbar. Hilton.
Here you go.
Still Hilton now, trying to force his way in. Falls in front. It's Ellis. Back out wide. Tallies taps it in.
Look, for a 9 to have that movement,
so desperately sought.
It's impressive.
He scores. He can.
Yeah, I mean, that was a really nice move by Justin Ellis, and to then just like perfectly play the ball, unselfishly, doesn't try to play around the keeper, just plays that ball out for Tallis to put it into an empty net. I mean, they fought hard to get back into this one. It was a tight game. they're, in a tight situation. And then the penalty shootout, they were 5 for 5. This here we're about to see is just the last penalty taken by Dylan.
Put it away. Jonathan to win it, and does.
You can hear that one. That was like a mom.
Whoever is screaming.
Yeah. There's somebody's mom is just screaming in the background.
That will be me if my son plays soccer. That will be me. I will
for
be
Miami.
whoever's
For
mom,
Miami.
No.
is doing that. This was a tight game. Like they played pretty well. They had 13 shots again, just like not great on the shots on target. They only had 3 on target. Fabio Lola had that really nice free kick. He got pretty close. And then, of course, managed to tie it up, get into the 1-1. Everybody, a perfect run of penalties. The only player I don't know is Jake Bassinet. I literally never heard of Jake Bassinet before. So he was a new player in this lineup, I guess, who came off the bench.
Look,
and then scored. Everyone else is pretty recognizable names, but 5 out of 5 on the penalties. So yeah, Jake Bassinet coming off the bench in the 90th, so very late, and scores in the penalty shootout. So shout out to you, Jake, as that's your debut, I believe it is, scoring on your debut. So very impressive indeed. Mercado again getting some saves. Thomas Williams, Tahiri Brown, Colin Gusky, Shaq was in this game as well. The boys played well. They hustled. They got the win. They got the 2 points. They got the win on penalties. And it's really important right now because they are here in 10th place with 35 points.
They're only a point away.
Place with 36 points is Carolina Core. And in between them with 35 points is New York City 2. So it's so tight. Toronto 2 in 7th place, only on 36 points as well. So there's 4 teams there separated by 1 point. It's so tight to get into these last playoff spaces. So OCB are doing it. They got a win, and then a draw win, quote unquote. So that's 2 points instead of just the 1. They just got to keep rolling, and maybe this will be enough to make the playoffs this year. But they're fighting. They're fighting hard here at the end, Luis.
F says, disappointing the team passed on signing Thales or Ellis to the main roster before the roster freeze date. I agree with you.
Can you sign him up on like the temporary youth?
Yeah, I mean, we can still sign him. But all I'm saying is I hope Oscar, if for some reason, if Duncan's not working out, we need to win games. So it is at this point with 4 games left. What is it? 5 games left? 5 games left.
5.
Whatever it takes. So if it means signing Shaq Muhammad for a day, it means signing Thales or Ellis, whoever is hot at OCB, sign them. Sign him to play and have minutes if it's not gonna work out. And then I really hope that Duncan, you have to understand, Ramiro will come in and he will definitely execute a game pretty well and try to score a couple goals. We need to see the same as Duncan. We need to see the same production. Vinco says, good luck to Orlando City in matches. Says Vinco Ramos. Thank you. Keith Alexander, we could really use a footwork maestro in the middle. I agree. La Maga, El Mago Ovayo. Tony S. Packed stadium. That's right. It's a very packed. A lot of flamingos right there pooping. Vinco Ramos. Good evening. Greetings from Peru. Thank you, my friend. Appreciate it. Pan con chicharrón. Pan con chicharrón. Ruben Perez says Angulo is painful to watch. Semicolon. He will never score.
He will sometimes, but just not very often.
Look, he does everything right, man. He dribbles like Vinny Jr. Yeah. He goes and then when he has to score,
his eyes light up.
It could be worse, man. We could have a Grace Chanda on the works.
Well,
Carlos Rivas.
we'll see. Tony S says, in a way, I feel like the players will also be playing for their contracts. A lot of their
Yeah, I
contracts
agree.
end in
100%.
December. Yeah, I mean, I don't know whether the Ricardo bond with Oscar is also as strong as the Muzi bond with Oscar. Like, I'm not questioning things, but
No, the bond's real, but it's just you
they
gotta
have
make
that relationship. They built that over time, so.
the bond's real.
But also, it does come down to Ricardo's job at the end of the day. Like, he has to make that call. Like, as much as we're saying, people might be like, hey, the club should do this, the club should do that. It's Ricardo's call on what he wants to do with his manager and what he wants to do with his squad, really. So
The team
we'll
has
see.
a lot of.
It really depends how this year ends. It really all comes down to these last 5 games in the playoffs for me, for Oscar this year.
The team has a lot of promise. It's just also the players are very inconsistent. And I mean, Oscar could sit down and have this tactical like breakdown on how first half's gonna go, second half's gonna go, but then they don't follow. It just happens, and it all falls on the responsibility of the coach in the end. But that's something that the front office is going to evaluate and decide, hey, is this something that I want to continue on, or is this something I need to make changes on? Personally, if you ask me right now, I think there's a lot of players that we truly love and respect, and they're going to be forever a Lion for sure. Probably John's going to have him in his podcast, but I think the buck stopping there for them. You know what I mean? And there's gonna have to be some changes. Maybe Adrian Marin is gonna be the next captain. I don't know. But
what?
No, I'm just joking. I'm just
yeah.
I'm just teasing you. I'm just teasing you. But what I'm saying is,
you're
gonna have to look if we do not if they fumble this, and we don't make playoffs. Definitely, I do agree that some changes are going to have to be made. I don't know if it's going to be the coach. I don't know if it's going to be the players, but definitely a purge is coming.
I think if we don't make playoffs, it should be both.
A purge is coming.
Ways. Like
100%.
I think this version of Orlando City is run its course, right? If they don't win it this year, like last year, I still feel that there was more. There was issues in the squad. There's roster things like Facu leaving. There's all of this. This year, we've got 3, 2 really great DPs, 1 good DP. We've got all of the squad we need. Like, we've made roster moves. I don't feel like there's anything here that we're really missing. Like, I feel like Oscar has all the pieces. So it's a question of, okay, well, you've got all the pieces. We still aren't able to perform. Where do we go from here, right? I think that's the question. So if we can't go anywhere from here, then that's where they start to make changes.
And when you have to make those tough decisions when things don't go your way.
Yeah, it just depends. Has this Orlando City run its course? Maybe this year we'll win it all, and then next year, it could happen. Like I genuinely still think we are a team that if we are hot, can beat any team in this league, and I do believe that.
We're gonna go Orlando Pride mode.
We have to be like killer Orlando City. We have to be
we have
to play like we played that game down in Miami in the league, not the League's Cup one.
Now, if
we have to go and be cutthroat.
Yeah, if we win all the upcoming games,
that's a statement, bro. If we did that,
it's feasible. It's not. It's not. Yeah,
5 in a row beating those teams. Everyone's gonna be like, these guys are gonna be.
These guys are good. Yeah, 100%. It says my unfounded take. Ojeda and Marco don't like each other. Feels like they actively avoid passing to each other now, as opposed to pre-All-Star break. I think you're.
I don't know about that one.
I have
to watch a game and see.
I don't want to disrespect you.
That might be a little tin.
I haven't noticed that.
I don't want to disrespect
I've not noticed.
you.
I'm not saying
but-
you're not wrong, but I've not
Exactly.
noticed.
No,
that.
No one
come
gotta pay
on.
attention on Saturday.
I'm gonna, we'll take it. We'll look at this F. We'll get back to you. If
Yeah.
this is a,
No,
we'll let you
I-
know if this is tin foil or not. I could this offseason be a big realignment for the team, says Tony S. Kind of talking on the same point before, and I agree with F.
No,
Wow.
I
Okay.
don't agree.
We got
with
another
that.
person saying that this is a thing.
Bro, you have to understand, like for Pasalic, like getting to Orlando, it's like a redo of his career, you know, and for a lot, and that's like kind of like the same type of players that we have in the team.
Yeah. I
You
think
know?
I see it more as like the phases of play and where they are, and like often they just not, they're doing the same things on opposite sides of the pitches a lot of the time, so they just not making those connecting passes. But if that's a thing, I'm genuinely interested to see if there's moments where there's an option to pass to each other and they're not doing it. But I don't
just feel
get
like
the
they're
vibe
so.
like they have an issue.
I just feel like Pasalic is so attached to the wing.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
he wants to cut into the middle and shoot. So I don't know. I feel Ojeda
Yeah.
right now. They're looking for solutions for him.
I think
Yeah.
Passage is also still getting opportunities. Like he makes opportunities to shoot, but recently his shots have been not as good as earlier in the season. So if he
says
could find those
Ojeda.
shooting boots again.
Ojeda had 3 assists to Marco pre All Star. All of his 8 assists pre All Star, 0 sins. Well, so in your take, they're angry to each other. They hate each other, and then we should just pack up and close. You know what I
I
mean?
don't think that's the thing. There was a chance Marco who was wide open in the box, so I hate to pass to Spicer instead. Spicer shanked it about a mile. Maybe he just didn't see him. But anyway, let's do some score predictions.
I want to
Luis.
see.
You want to see what? You want to see this?
No, I'm just saying. It's like I just don't know where they get this stuff. It's from Facebook.
That's a new one. But I mean, F's got a point. I want to look out.
I mean, I'm gonna look it out.
I
on
just
Saturday
think.
for
I
sure.
just think.
Got a point.
To summarize what F says, they're ineffective. Like I just think that they're.
Why is that? No, he's just saying that they could have passed to each other, but he doesn't see them always doing that.
Yeah,
Like, there
but
might be a
it's because they're inefficient. I just feel like
Well,
Ojeda is thinking of something else, and Marco is in a different. So
I think it's more like maybe they just didn't see each other.
Yeah,
we see everything, but sometimes players are so focused and they literally don't look up and see the other player shouting at them to pass them the ball. Like it can happen.
bro, you can link a clip, bro. Like, come on, bro.
Can I link you a clip?
Crazy.
You could DM us a clip and we'll check this out in our free time. All right, let's talk about Nashville. What is our prediction?
I'm gonna go. Well, we go ladies first. Paula, you go first.
Paula's first.
I'm afraid.
Paula, you said 3-0 and I saw 4-1 against DC.
Mm-hmm.
That is shockingly disappointing.
That's bad. A
Horrible.
disappointment.
It's horrible.
2-2.
Oh,
I started with the W and I had to change it to a draw.
I'm sorry. I want to win, but I don't know.
I mean, that is an honest prediction. That is a very honest.
that is a very honest
Yeah,
prediction.
that is like if I was going to place some money on this, I think that would be.
You're gonna do the hard
I would
rock
never bet anything but a
parlay.
win on Orlando City because I just don't. I morally cannot. But yeah, that's a nice draw.
Let's see. A point is a point with a tough team.
I'll be a positive one. 2-1 win.
2-1. I just don't see us getting a clean sheet against Nashville. Like I just really don't.
Yeah, I don't see us getting a clean sheet against Nashville. I mean, it will really surprise me. And again, it will say that they're just so inconsistent.
I'm gonna be positive.
Form.
I don't know why, but I'm gonna go for a 3-1. I think they score one. It's like 1-1 at halftime. Then late in the game, we bring on some subs, like late goal from Spicer and like Duncan or something. Like I feel like that's where we're gonna go with this one. If we're gonna win it, it's gonna be a tight game and a late winner, and then maybe another late winner. I don't know.
Look,
I'm feeling 3-1.
picture perfect would be if it's John's prediction. Picture perfect would be, hey, Nashville score first, and then we like completely like kill them in the second half, and we kind of own them at that point. Picture perfect for Paola, it would be okay. We were down 2,
Ay.
and then we tied it in the second half. There's something to it's some improvement. Hey, right? But
Yeah.
we'll see.
I mean, score more than one goal, that would be a big, you know what I mean? Like, I think it's been a long time since we've done that.
I just feel bad for the fans because the competition that's coming to play at home is not just any competition. It's really big tests, and I truly feel like a good way for them to really close out this regular season is to give the fans what they really want, which is W's against really tough competition. Like, if they really want to compete for that championship, they gotta beat the Nashvilles, they gotta beat they gotta beat the Vancouvers, they gotta beat the Columbuses. So if Orlando is able to deliver those 3 and then maybe draw 1,
Yeah.
and maybe bust 1, Orlando will go through the playoffs. They'll clinch playoffs, and then it's another story after that. I mean, you have to understand it's another story after that, and then that's something for Oscar to decipher at that point. But we'll see.
Ruben Perez says, always great analysis, guys. Thanks. Hopefully we can beat Nashville. Earlier in the pod, I talked about the last time we had a clean sheet. I found that game.
Oh,
it was June 14th against Colorado away. I repeat, June 14th.
June 14th.
We are now on September 15th.
Oh, wow.
So the defensive Orlando City that we've known from other years has left the building.
Pulpo out.
Not come back. I don't even blame like Pedro. I don't even think he's been that bad during this. It's just we've been a little bit sloppy in every game. We've been giving up a chance or two, or making errors at the back, just not being gritty enough to see out games unless it's someone like Colorado. I mean, even DC. So, all right.
Tom, so one thing I do want to say, Thomas Mueller, guys, is coming to Central Florida.
Yeah.
So if you're a Bayern fan, please don't go support Vancouver.
If you're a fan of German football, and I don't know.
Thomas Mueller is coming to Central Florida, and I do want to add, Thomas Mueller for the first time, actually for the first time in a long time. Look who is player of the match day for MLS. Wow. Thomas Mueller.
I mean, that was a crazy signing by them. I did like that one.
Well, that's they own his rights, didn't he?
I think it was more to do with like Alphonso Davies kind of like talking up Vancouver and like being like, hey. And like I think they got the rights or something, but like he wanted to, like, he was open to it, and they sold him on it. And he's been a great, he's like a club ambassador. He's a league ambassador.
Look, so far he's been a gentleman compared to the other guy from Argentina, unfortunately.
Yeah, Heung-min Song and Thomas Mueller come to town. They always come. They actually play in the stadium. They turn up. They're not afraid to come to Interco Stadium. All right. I think that's everything we have time for today on the podcast. Luis or Paula, you got any kind of closing thoughts you want to leave us with?
Well, Paula, you go first.
No, I was going to say important game on Saturday for us. That's everything that I have to say.
Come out and support the boys. Like, I want to see a packed wall,
Yes.
100%. I wanted to thank F and everybody that commented and made the discussion spark Thank you so much for you guys' comments and
I'm
for
gonna
your
go send me this clip, F. I'm intrigued.
Me too. Me too.
yeah. So it says F Vancouver paid Cincy 400K for Mueller's discovery rights. True that. But look, Mueller is killing it. So hopefully he doesn't kill us. But I wish the best of the team. I really hope that they're able to continue and regain those home games. I think the fans deserve it, and I have no doubt the fans are gonna like pack it up this weekend. It's I mean, bro, they beat Orlando 5-1. I mean, they gotta have some decency and just come to the stadium. I mean, come on. I think there's gonna be more than 20,000 people, in my opinion. Hopefully, and again, Vamos Orlando. Through thick and thin. Let's push forward. I know it's tough, but again, guys, I mean, it's the season of not putting in the net. Unfortunately, we're available on Apple Podcasts, on Spotify, on X, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. Loud and Proud Orlando. Thank you to everybody that watched today.
Yes, thank you all, everybody who's in the chat. We appreciate you all dropping your comments. Thank you to everybody who listened at home. We appreciate you all. Let's beat Nashville this weekend, get some revenge. And as always, Vamos
Vamos,
Orlando!
Orlando!
Vamos Orlando. Take care, guys.